both of Sunderland's goal scorers this evening. What a moment. This one will live on in the memories for them because it was such a significant night for them. Salvaged a point late on. We just heard from Brian Brobby, so let's have a look at his goal, the equaliser, 2-2, 94th minute. Sorry, David, but can you talk us through this?
It's a little bit unlucky, like we get a little deflection off Saka there, and then Pollard is causing havoc again. Whether Raya should come, I'd question that, and the way that he comes for the ball, he's coming to try and catch it, and is he aware of the guy getting really close to it? Gabriel's trying to hold him off, and he tried to get a free kick for a head, higher boot, but his head was low. It's a great finish by Brobby, but I just question the decision of Raya, whether he should have come and tried to punch it rather than trying to catch it.
And he'll be absolutely gutted, considering the record we've been talking about of clean sheets and the string of clean sheets that they have had.
Yeah, definitely. And he's made some fantastic saves in the game as well. He even made a triple save. He gets cancelled out for offside, so apparently that doesn't count. But he's been making some fantastic saves. But I nearly said it's so disappointing. But when you look at the overall game, I think
fair result in the end.
Yeah, just about a fair result.
Just about. Look at the points from losing positions. Sunderland have amassed the most this season. They're a newly promoted side, but you wouldn't think it, would you, Gary?
Yeah, no, it's a great start, isn't it? And it's all about attitude. That when I look at that, I feel like, that's about attitude, and that's about not getting your head down in difficult moments when you go behind in games. So it's a great achievement and a great start for them. And again, they've done it tonight and earned themselves a point.
And you talk about attitude. Arsenal showed great attitude, as they have all season, because Saka, early in the second half, came out and equalised. Marino played his part as well in the goal. And we thought, right, they're off.
Yeah, it was a great reaction, like I said, in the second half. Look at Declan Rice, he's absolutely superb. I thought he was terrific all game today, winning the ball back with a high press. And then obviously Saka finishing it off in a near post. You just look at Declan Rice here, his attitude, his desire to go and win it and press. Lafy just kind of, he holds onto the ball too long. You see there from Roofs, he's putting his arms up in the air. He can see what's behind him. He can see the pressure coming. He's wanting the ball back to maybe then clear and go long. That's the only time I saw in the game up until this point that Sunderland took risk. I thought it was a risky pass into midfield. They didn't need to make that pass. It wasn't really on to build out from there because the two centre-backs were split. It was in a sticky situation. For me, the ball goes back and you clear your lines. And if you don't, somebody like Declan Rice, who we spoke before, one of the best in his position in Europe, in European football, takes the ball off you, and the rest is history, as I say, the back of the net.
Yeah, and then before we knew it, was Trossard that scored an absolute beauty. This is amazing.
From the amount of power he generates from almost like a standing start, I just wondered whether Roos got blindsided with it, because I think there's a striker just goes in line with the ball as he hits it. When you see the shot from behind, he moves late. But it's still a fantastic strike. That's absolute quality, that, of the highest order.
Nothing a goalkeeper could have done here, right?
No.
Obviously,
it was made harder.
Of course. Yeah.
One hand. But anyway. But no, it's an unbelievable strike. And trust me, these balls are different. They are faster, because I train with them at Arsenal, and even I can generate speed with them. So that's telling you a lot about the new ball.
And sometimes when the game's so tight and you're looking for players to kind of, to do something special, and that was a real special goal. Yeah. That was a fantastic hit from Trossard.
And despite the fact it's 2-2, in the 94th minute, Arsenal still had a chance, didn't they, to win it very late on. What a story and what a turnaround this would have been. It
would have been, but it's an absolutely amazing block by the defender. But, and when it falls to, I think it's Marino, isn't it?
That's as good as a goal.
Yeah.
Centre-back's point.
That save there is decent.
Here we go, look, body on the line.
No.
And Dan Bollard was involved
him again.
in everything, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Honestly, obviously the goal, the finish was superb. He was involved for the first header for the goal, and obviously then at the end, a match-saving a challenge. So he had a terrific game as well.
So what do Arsenal learn from this? Of course, we can see the Premier League table there. They still have that healthy lead at the top, but I guess it would have been nice to have extended it a little bit more.
Yeah, of course it would, but it shows you that they still believe in what they're doing. This was a difficult game, especially when you looked at it first half. It looked difficult. Sunderland were well organised, and they know exactly what they needed to do with Arsenal. Hit it long, play in Arsenal's half rather than trying to play out from the back. And like Gary said, when they did play out from the back, it cost them a goal. But Arsenal, they're in a good position, because this was a big test.
As for Sunderland, third in the table. How are they doing this?
Yeah, dreamland. Yeah, like I said, attitude, the way they're playing, unbeaten at home. They're obviously generating the atmosphere at home. The fans are obviously loving the life in the Premier League this season. Well organised team, doing very, very well. So, but we said about Arsenal as well. It was important if they didn't win to not lose. 7 points clear. They're in a good position.
They certainly are. Okay, we move on because our